Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to my Inbox 19 video where I show you some of my purchases over the past month or so. Now in my Inbox 18 video I said I'd only concentrate on the second-hand records, but over the past week or two I have actually picked up a few new ones as well, so I'm going to include them too. Right, we'll start with the new records, then the second hand, and then I'll finish with three £1 purchases which really didn't cost me anything because I think he just threw them in and said no, you can take them. Okay, so we'll start off with a single, and this is the picture disc 40th anniversary version of Alabama Song. This series started in 2012 with Starman, and I've been collecting every one since. But there has been two songs that they've missed. It's really going by the UK releases, although there was one American one with 1984. But for some reason they missed Suffragette City, which was a single in '76. So it would have been due 4 years ago. And last year there was a single called John I'm Only Dancing Again. It didn't get a release. Now I would expected it to be released, even though it was recorded 5 years previous. It was still quite a big hit. It was the top 20 hit in the UK, but it never got released. So this is the Alabama Song. The B-side is the live version of Alabama Song along with a live version of Joe the Lion. The next one up in the series is going to be a big one. It's Ashes to Ashes. So it's funny how once you start collecting these, the actual time frame from the first one to Ashes, it seems like 10 minutes ago that I started buying these, but 1972 to 1980 seemed like an eternity. So that's David Bowie, Alabama Song. Okay, the first new album I bought was Radiohead, The Bends. I really do like this album. I really like OK Computer as well, but I think this may be my favourite. My two favourite Radiohead songs are on this, Fake Plastic Trees and Street Spirit Fade Out. I also love Bones and Nice Dream, but generally it's a really good album. This is not 180 gram, which is a surprise, but that doesn't bother me. In fact, I would rather not every one be 180 gram because it does bring the price down a little bit. This one here was going rather cheap on Amazon. This is Rolling Stones Honk, and this is basically a greatest hits from 1971 to 2015. It's a 3 LP set. It's absolutely brilliant. It even has some sort of deeper cuts on it, like Rocks Off, which normally you wouldn't get on one of the greatest hits. Write 'Em Down, Doom and Gloom are a couple of the more later ones. One More Shot's a very good one. Do 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 Do, Heartbreaker from Goat's Head Soup's on this. This is really good, and at 21 quid, which for a triple album is not a bad price. And the third and final new album is a Bruce Springsteen album, and this is Devils and Dust. Now I'll admit I'm not the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan in the world, but I have always loved this album. In fact, I think this is my favourite Bruce Springsteen album of the whole lot. There's something about Bruce Springsteen when it's an acoustic based song. Now I don't mean a fully acoustic like the Nebraska album, but an acoustic led song that I like, and especially whenever he shoves a harmonica in his gob, he seems to win me over, because the title track Devils and Dust is absolutely awesome. It's a little bit like my favourite Bruce Springsteen song, Tougher Than the Rest. It goes out with an harmonica at the end. So yeah, really good song. All the Way Home, Long Time Coming, is a really brilliant song. Now this is spread over 2 LPs. It's only 50 minutes long. So 50 minutes, 2 LPs, maybe it could have been done on a single, but the sound quality is excellent, and this was only released yesterday. Okay, some second-hand vinyl, and this is Q-Tips with Paul Young in the middle, and I picked this up very cheap just to see what it was like, and this is actually very good. Like, it's like a White Soul album. It's a little bit like Dexy's Midnight Runners, but without the Kevin Rowland voice, and I really did enjoy this. There's obviously there's cover versions like Some Kind of Wonderful, which was the Drifters, Tracks of My Tears, which was Smokey Robinson, and The In Crowd, which I don't know who it was, but I know Brian Ferry did it. But a really enjoyable album. They only did one album, well, one studio album, and so I'm glad to pick it up. Good album. I picked this up because it was going cheap as well. Yay, Madonna, the Immaculate Collection. This is really, really good. The only thing that annoys me about this is some of the versions are remixed, and I would have preferred them to have been the original studio ones. So for example, Like a Prayer just doesn't sound as good as the original, and Holiday's slightly different as well. But overall this is a really, really good album. I have this in CD, and it was going cheap, and I thought, and it's in good condition, so yeah, I'll add it to the Madonna collection. This one I've been looking for, and you can find this in any record fair and every bargain bin, but I could never find it. In fact, one of the record fairs I went to last year, I picked up the wrong one. I picked up their second album, which was alright, but this is Katrina and the Waves' international debut. It's actually a compilation of their first two Canadian albums. This is absolutely fantastic. I really did enjoy this. There's not a bad song on it, and obviously it's got Walking on Sunshine and Going Down to Liverpool on it. But overall this is a really, really good album, and this is up there with what I would call the Bangles All Over the Place. It's just a really strong album. Next up is another cheap one, and this is a little bit of country, and this is my first record by Juice Newton. And the reason I bought this is because it's got the single Love's Been a Little Bit Hard on Me, which was a single 1982, and I remember playing it when I worked in a record shop. Really liked it, never seen the album. I do have a Juice Newton single, obviously, you'll never guess which one. Yeah, Angel of the Morning. So I would have liked it to have been on it as well, but this is actually quite good. I played this a week ago, and I thought, yeah, this is good, and I wouldn't mind getting the album before it with Angel in the Morning on it. So Juice Newton, good album. This is the third album by Fox, and this is Blue Hotel, and yeah, again now I've got their three albums, and this has got the hit Single Bed, which is a great song. Blue Hotel itself is very good, and My Old Man's Away is very good. I like Fox. I don't think their albums are absolutely brilliant, but they're all pretty good. There's no real massive standout album, but you can get a really, really good compilation from the three albums. So this is Fox, and it's Blue Hotel from, I think it's 1976. Another cheap one, Johnny Cash, One Piece at a Time. I had this on CD. It was only $1.99, so yep, I'll go for it. It's your standard Johnny Cash fare, so it is. It's got that sort of guitar chugging train sound to it throughout the whole of it, but it's a very good album. There's one song in particular that I really do like, and it's Go On Blues. It's the last song on side 2. But yeah, this is the mid-70s Cash. It's just a good, strong album. Devo, my first ever Devo album. Didn't know what to expect. Saw it. It wasn't overly cheap, but it wasn't overly expensive. The one with the flower pots on their head I really wanted, but it was going for too much money. It probably goes for cents over in America. But this one I think is from 1981, and it's self-titled, and I really enjoyed this. This is actually good. It's very synthy, but it's a good sort of early 80s synth, so yeah, good album. If I can find the other one cheaper, I'll get it, but I was quite surprised. I honestly didn't know what to expect. So Devo from 1981. This one here is unfortunate because it's good. It's like a 12-inch single of 6 songs, Bauhaus the Singles, 1981 to 83, and it's got things like She's in Parties, Ziggy Stardust, The Passion of Lovers, Kick in the Eye, Spirit, and I can never pronounce this name, Ledgercha Nick or whatever it is. I remember it in the charts. These are good songs, but this record is trashed, and that's why I got it for peanuts. It's really unplayable now, so I really do have to look out for a different copy, because it's worth it to get a good copy of this. So Bauhaus the singles 81 to 83, very unfortunate, but what can you do? We're flying through these rightly. Now this you could call a little bit of a guilty pleasure, but this is good fun, and you know me, I like my guilty pleasures, and this is Chas and Dave's greatest hits, and this is bloody brilliant. So this is great fun. This is pure party, cockney, knees up stuff. Rabbit, Ain't No Pleasing You, Gurcha, Margate, London Girls, the Sideboard song, absolutely love it. Played it on Thursday, and if I wasn't singing, I smiled my way the whole way through it. Brilliant album. Chas and Dave's greatest hits. Now this one actually I sought out because I saw John Bellamy show it in one of his videos. I think it was a response to the songs less than 2 minutes. And I have this in CD, but I never had it in LP, and I fancied it, and I played this yesterday as well, and this is really good. This is Fairground Attraction, I Found Kiss, and this has got the wonderful Jock Hazel Dean on it, which opens the album with. Also there's Walking After Midnight, the Patsy Cline song. This is a collection of B-sides from around their album First of a Million Kisses, which itself is a great album. I really fancied this on vinyl, and just looking at the track listing here, it's obvious this came out, when did this come out? 1990. This was designed for CD, you know, by looking at the track listing, because it's not split into side 1 and 2, it just lists tracks 1 to 12, which annoys me. I know it's being very petty, but for an LP I like to see side 1 or side 2, or even side A and side B, and then the songs listed, rather than 1 to 12. But it's a good album. It's a pity Fairground Attraction didn't do more than their one album. I know that after this Mark Nevin went on to write for Morrissey and the underrated Kill Uncle album, but yeah, good album. This one here I got very cheap, the Patti Smith group, Radio Ethiopia, and this is the one between Horses and Easter. Now Easter I thought was not a great album. Horses I liked, but it's difficult to get into. This here is the best of the three. This is the most accessible, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. Things like Ask the Angels, Poppies, Pissing in a River, even, very nice title, but still. Radio Ethiopia is a very good album, and I think at the time this was marketed along with Lou Reed's Rock and Roll Heart together for Arista, you know, buy one buy the other sort of thing. But yeah, good album, and as I say, of 3 Patti Smith albums, this is my favourite. Okay, I got this here double album by Joan Baez because I didn't have any Joan Baez at all, and this is enjoyable. A lot of it is live though, but you do have Lady Came from Baltimore, the what do you call him, Tim Hardin song. You've got quite a few Bob Dylan ones here as well, but you do have The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down and a couple of Leonard Cohen songs. It's a good album. It's folk, she's got a good voice. But yeah, glad to have it. It's the only Joan Baez album I have on vinyl, although I do have one of her CDs from the 60s, and I can't remember the name of it, but they're all Bob Dylan covers, and there's a version of Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands on it. So yeah, Joan Baez, spotlight on Joan Baez. Okay, we're getting close to the end. 12-inch single by The Who, and this is Wire and Glass, and this came out before their Endless Wire LP. Yeah, it's okay. It's just little snippets of songs. There's you think you're getting a lot here, 6 songs on side 1, but they're only about 1 minute long. It's enjoyable, but it's not essential. And finally, this is the Sweet and Pipkins. This is a Music for Pleasure album. One half is all the Sweet songs before they signed to RCA. So you get things like Lollipop Man, Get on the Line, The Juicer, All You'll Ever Get From Me, which is good. And then the Pipkins, you get Pipkins stuff with a fantastic Gimme Dat Thing on it, which I love. So I'm glad to get this on vinyl because I didn't have any pre-RCA suite on vinyl, so good to have. Okay, the 3 ones for £1, which I got for free actually, and Johnny actually more or less forced me to take this. He says, it's good, listen to it. And this is Hall & Oates, Whole Oates, and I think this might be their debut or their second album, and it's alright. I see a lot of Hall & Oates on the VC, especially from people in America, but they're not my scene, to be honest. I do have one of their greatest hits, which is okay, but this to me is boring. Sorry, but Hall & Oates, Whole Oates. This one here was influenced by James Griffiths, who did a video on Cliff Richard, and I saw this and I thought, I'll get it. He says it's a good album, I'm Nearly Famous, and it is a good album. It's got Devil Woman on it, which I've never been overly keen on, but it does have Miss You Nights, which I absolutely adore. It also has another single, I Can't Ask for Any More Than You, which I think is great as well. But generally speaking, it's decent enough pop music, but it's got the Cliff Richard tag on it, which puts a lot of people off. But no, will I ever pick up any other Cliff Richard albums? Well, if they're £1 or less, I probably will, but I'm not going to seek them out. But I'm Nearly Famous. I'm Nearly Finished. I'm Nearly Famous. Not a bad album. And lastly, this is something different that I picked up, and I thought, yeah, I'll go for it, and I played it and I fell asleep during it, but it was really nice. And this is John Williams, the John Williams collection, and this is just him playing acoustic guitar, and it's really nice. It even has his rendition of Turkish Rondo, the Mozart piece, so it's really nice music. And Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring, which I've always liked, so a little bit of classical music done with the acoustic guitar. Very good. Okay, so there's my picks or finds from the last month or so. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.